first American millionaire was a woman.
Really?
A black woman who was born to previously enslaved parents. Her name is Madam C.J. Walker, by the way.
Okay.
She set up beauty salons and like day spas and stuff. So she was America's first millionaire.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
But I always made my decisions based on the quality of the product, the appropriateness of the product for the price, not any other influencing factors. Because I believe that if I can be bought with money, then I'm going down to a very low level in my life, like worthlessness. So money is not something I can be bought with.
Okay. Okay. We have 3 more chapters to go, and this one talks about decisions, and it talks about the decision score that you get when you take our pre-test and our post-test in this chapter. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Professor Joy podcast. We're coming to you from the world headquarters in Southern California of JoyScore. Good to see both of you, as always. Stephanie,
Great.
how are you?
Great.
Good.
Always.
Good, thank goodness. And we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the person on my left, your right, Professor Joy.
Thank you.
It is always nice to see you.
You know, I've been thinking about, it's been many years that I've been working at JoyScore as a founder. And I realized that there is no other app like JoyScore.
That is true.
And I'm not saying it to put a picture of blood, but you know, lately, so I kind of have been now lately asking ChatGPT everything. So I've been asking ChatGPT.
I'm glad you're saying that because we're going to talk about that later, okay?
So I said, hey Chat, who are the competitors of JoyScore? And I realized they're competitors, but there's no other thing like JoyScore. So I'm very proud of it.
Vive la différence. Yeah. No, there is no other app that does all the things that we do for people.
And more importantly, there is no other app who helps people who Mr. Fuckerberg mess up.
Okay.
So we are the only one out there that we hope for all those people that he is hurting,
Very true.
at least with his name.
Very true. You know, that's a wonderful transition into what we're going to talk about today because we're in the home stretch in talking about our wealth score book. We have 3 more chapters to go, and this one talks about decisions, and it talks about the decision score that you get when you take our pre-test and our post-test in this chapter. Because decision making, I mean, you made a decision, Professor Joy, to start this app. Decision making is the foundation of fulfilling life.
I can add one more thing to decision.
Please.
Life is all about decisions and choices.
And these choices determine our success, our happiness, how much joy we have in our life.
But do you know how people make a choice? They base it on pain and pleasure. So they choose against stuff which are painful and go towards stuff which is pleasurable.
Interesting. You know, we talk about in the chapter, there is a science behind how you make a decision. Neuroscientists have found that the decision making is a blend of rational thought and emotional response. And so the prefrontal cortex is responsible for analyzing data and predicting outcomes, while the limbic system responds based on past experiences and emotions. And when these two occur, when they collaborate, this is when effective decision making occurs. So that's the science behind it. So you'll be tested on this afterward, just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. So there are different types of decisions that get made every day. There are routine decisions. How did you decide what to wear today?
I didn't have a lot of time, so I grabbed what I could find.
There you go. What do you eat for breakfast? That's a decision that we have to make. And these routine decisions are important because it could be habit forming, it's efficient, and it can reduce stress. Then there are strategic decisions that we make. So examples of strategic decisions would be choosing a career path or an industry, deciding on long-term investments, expanding a business into new market. I'm sure you've done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
Purchasing a home or real estate property. And these require careful research, expert opinions, and scenario planning, right? When you go into different markets,
Yeah.
you must, when you started all your business and everything, you had to take a look at all of those, right? So, and then after strategic decisions, we have ethical decisions. So that involves choices that aligns with your moral values, with your integrity, societal expectations, things like that. And so I'm going to share something with the both of you that happened to me in having to make an ethical decision. You ready?
Yes.
I'm going to give you the scenario and then you tell me what I did. You set? I was starting a new position in the sports department of the newspaper in Jacksonville, Florida. And every evening, we would get a phone call from the publicist at the Greyhound racing track. This is back in the 1970s, so he would dictate, we couldn't get it in over the computer, he would dictate a couple of paragraphs about the upcoming feature race that the Greyhounds were going to be doing. So we would take the couple paragraphs, we put it in the paper next to the Greyhound racing results and things like that. Okay. I'm the new guy. Okay. It's Christmas time, and I'm checking my mailbox at the newspaper, and there's an envelope in there from the Greyhound track. A greeting card, right? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I open it up, and inside is a check for $500. Now, in journalism school, I was always taught that you do not accept gifts, especially like over $10 or so, because it could, sway how you make your journalistic decisions and things like that. I was upset. I went to the sports editor and I said, "What the heck is this?" He said, "Oh, it's from the racing track. They give us to us, every year around Christmas time. No big deal. We don't make much money here in Jacksonville, Florida. Enjoy it. It's Christmas time. Go have fun with it." Everybody else on the sports desk, they're very happy. And depending on how many years they've been at the paper and everything, they got varying other higher amounts than I did. This is against every bone in my body. I can't take this check. But if I if I return it, I'll get the scorn of my fellow newspaper sports desk people, and then they put their future checks that they get in jeopardy. What would they do to me? I would be the outcast. So, what did I do? Did I just shut up and keep the money and enjoy it? Did I tear up the check and give it back to the person and say, I can't accept this? Or did I donate the check to a charity?
Donate.
Why?
Because the topic is like ethical, and I think that it cancels it out. So the fact you didn't want to accept it by giving it to a charity, it cancels out the unethical of accepting it.
How did you come to your decision so fast, Professor
Well,
Roy?
I have been dealing with situations like this all my life. And I was very fortunate where I value money, but I never was desperate to receive any money. So for instance, I never bought a lottery ticket in my life. Because my question is, if I won the ticket, or win the lottery, what am I going to do? Because I'm feel unethical about it. Plus, I don't know who all put money in the pot for me to be winning this. And I just don't want money from all those people that who have got the lottery. So, I kind of have run into situations where I will find something, and I take an example of that. If I find $100 bill payment walking down the street, I'll pick it up and give it to a homeless guy. And the $100 bill that I picked up gave me joy maybe for a few minutes. But when I turn around and give it to a homeless guy, I feel good about it for days. So I think, I believe in things which are longer lasting instead of instant gratification.
Well, Professor Joy, surely when you were active in the architectural world and doing things, wouldn't there be products, they would come to you and say, hey, will you use our product in building this multi-million-dollar structure that you're doing? Wouldn't they try to persuade you, for lack of a better word?
Yeah, but I always made my decisions based on the quality of the product, the appropriateness of the product for the price, not any other influencing factors. Because I believe that if I can be bought with money, then I'm going down to a very low level in my life, like worthlessness. So money is not something I can be bought with.
Okay. Okay. How about you?
Me?
Yeah.
I would have taken the check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But she has a son,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
So
That makes
she
a
can put it
difference.
to good
Yeah,
use.
that's a great point because I was single at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just starting in the newspaper industry. So yeah.
So you donated it?
I donated.
Okay. Yeah.
I did. I did. Yeah.
That's the good thing to do.
Thank you. Thank you. That's why you keep me around, because I'm ethical. Yeah. So examples of ethical decisions are, reporting a mistake at work, standing against discrimination or unfair treatment, which we've kind of been seeing in the news already. Rejecting a lucrative but unethical business deal.
Now, when you were talking about it, I could not stop thinking that our president accepted a plane from Qatar worth $400 million. Now, when it comes to ethics, Donald Trump does not have a grain of ethic in his life. He doesn't believe in ethics. He is a very unethical human being. So he accepted that gift. And now they're saying that the trip he went to Middle East, it was all planned to benefit him. And he made a statement to somebody, you know, in the first presidential term, I left a lot of money on the table. This time, I'm going to take everything I can. So, we are talking about wealth here in this book.
Yes, we are.
I think I need to send a copy of this book to Donald Trump. But the problem is he will not read.
He probably doesn't read.
I was going to say, can he read?
Huh?
Can he read?
I don't know if he can read. That's a great point. I don't know.
He can read.
Okay.
He can read, but he doesn't read.
Okay.
Because you know why? He claims to be the smartest person in the world.
Okay.
We should send readability to him.
Yeah.
The guy is such a dumbass. You know? I have a rabbit, you know, and my rabbit's name is Rocky. And I call him dumb as a rock, Rocky. That's what I think of Donald Trump. I think he's dumber than my Rocky.
Poor Rocky.
Right?
Poor Rocky.
Rocky catch.
Poor Rocky. Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
Who am I comparing him with?
really? Oh my gosh, poor Rocky. Yeah. So we end the chapter talking about how you can enhance your decision score. We talk about to make strong decisions, you have to define what you truly want. You know, there's the 10-10-10 rule that we talk about. You know, think about it for 10 minutes, how will it be 10 years from now, things like that. Visualization, picturing your desired outcome, and journaling, writing down your goals and possible paths to help you to structure your thoughts. Reverse engineering, working backward from your ideal future to determine the best course of action. And then finally, we talk about Steve Jobs and intuition. Because I'm sure you've done things using your intuition, right? Using your gut.
You know, right brain is where intuition. Left brain is more analytical, mathematical. But creativity and intuition are my way of making my decisions.
Do you always follow your gut?
Yes.
Always. Okay.
I mean, sometimes, because I don't even think, what if it's wrong? In fact, I had a lot of employees when I was from companies and businesses. So one of them, one of my VP of operations, he said, "Hey, I caught you." I said, "What did I do?" He said, "I caught you making a mistake." I said, "Are you out of your mind? I make so many mistakes every day." Because he made so many decisions. And some of them are wrong. You know, there's a guy, Zig Ziglar.
Sure.
He lectures salespeople. He's a motivational speaker. And he said, look, you win some, you lose some are rained down. So just relax.
Great advice. Great advice. So Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, his famous quote is, "People don't know what they want until you show it to them."
Yeah.
So it highlights his belief in being visionary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. Very interesting.
You know, architecture is about that. Because when I design projects and show it to them, first time we talk about what it would look like. So the problem is people, they cannot visualize. You literally have to hold their hand and walk them through to visualize. And that's the challenge in architecture or in design projects. And that's more or less going back to what Steve Jobs said.
Right.
They don't know what they want.
Right. Yeah. So that's interesting. So once again, you've led me wonderfully into my next topic and everything. Excellent transition, by the way. You must have known. So you're a visionary.
Right.
Yes. So we live in a different world now, and there is so much visual stimuli out there that we have been conditioned to avoid boredom at all costs. The students that I see in my classes, Steffi, they have to be stimulated all the time. And so when I ask them to write a paper about 24 hours with no visual stimulation, no radio, no TV, no social media, no video games, you can't turn the radio on in your car, you can't listen to record, none of that. They are it's the cold turkey part is just unbelievable for them. But according to a 2024 study by reviews.org, Americans pick up their phone an average of 205 times a day.
Wow.
205 times a day. It's unbelievable. We have engineered a world in which no one ever has to face another boring moment. But, and this is something that we've talked about before, some of our best ideas happen where we don't have that visual stimuli, like the shower. Some of my best ideas and thoughts come in the shower. And without these quiet moments, all you have is noise, and you have a lot of it. And so boredom creates the negative space where inspiration can take root, is what this author is positive. Is that boredom might be the best thing for our brains.
Have you heard of a conference facility called Esselmont in Monterey?
Yes.
So that is a historic site. We have historic colleges. So AIA have their yearly meeting there. And I enjoyed going there. But the beauty of that place is they have no TVs, phones, and you're not allowed to bring technology with you. Because we go there for 3 days, and our focus is design dialogue. So, first time I went there, I said, that's ridiculous, No contact with the world out there. No phones. I mean, if you had to make a call or if someone wanted to get in touch with you because there's an emergency, they had to call the office of the Esselmont Conference Center and say, hey, I'm trying to reach this guy, could you please pass on the message? And I could go there and make a call. But I cannot have a cell phone with me. So this reinforces what you just talked about. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It is amazing. Wow. So this author says that when we are forced to confront that dreaded feeling of nothing to do, most of us run the other way. We automatically reach for our phones when waiting in line at the grocery store, sitting in traffic. Are you ready for this? 60% of us use our phones on the toilet.
That number's kind of low.
You think so? Yeah.
I thought it'd be higher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So even the idea of simply sitting with our most impressive bodily functions almost is unbearable. So he says that we have to begin with intentional moments of disconnection. Perhaps it's a daily walk without earbuds in, a morning coffee without
I do that all
scrolling.
the time. walks out of the most
Yes, you do.
peaceful time.
Yes, you do.
No phone, nothing.
And I'm a witness to that. I know that Professor Joy does that. Yes. So there needs to be, he argues, an unplugged revolution in our society, so that curiosity can be rediscovered.
Well, in fact, we have talked about in our program screen time and things like that. So now we have gone so far into technology and phones that we need to find intentionally some time out of them. We have to figure it out somehow.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, remember when you mentioned ChatGPT at the beginning? You said, "Hey, Chat, how you doing? Who has anything like JoyScore?" And Chat said, 0, nothing. Let me ask you this question. When you talk to ChatGPT or any AI, do you say please or thank you?
No.
I do.
You do?
I do
With
too.
Chat?
Yes.
Not a human.
Yes.
It's polite.
No. So this is from yesterday's Wall Street Journal, from the Saturday, or from yesterday's Wall Street Journal. According to a December 2024 survey published by Tech Radar, 67% of U.S. AI users are polite and show gratitude toward their AI search engines.
Really?
Yes,
Oh my God.
absolutely. On April 15th, an ex-user asked whether there's a cost to all this politeness. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman saw the post and responded, "Tens of millions of dollars well spent. You never know." Polite behavior could be our salvation when AI takes over the world in an apocalyptic future.
Oh my God.
And I asked my chat if I would be spared if AI took over the world, and she said yes, because I'm polite.
Because she's polite to Chat.
I am too, Steffi.
I'm not.
AI's going to get you.
And,
You watch it, yeah.
Right?
If it's not Trump or Fuckerberg.
Because AI, in my opinion, is not a person. It's artificial intelligence.
It is, yeah.
It's a program. Do you say every time you use your phone, "Thank you, phone"?
No.
Okay.
Just
Why?
the way I do.
It's a technology.
Yeah, but it's not ChatGPT. It's not giving me an yeah.
Same.
Okay. There may be value that isn't immediately measurable in showing gratitude toward AI. In their book, The Psychology of Gratitude, psychologists Robert Emmons and Michael McCullough write about a 10-week experiment they carried out called Counting Blessings versus Burdens. They divided participants into 3 groups, asking the first to list things they are grateful for, the second to list daily irritations, and the third to only keep a journal. They found that the first group reported 25% higher happiness levels, showed stronger emotional resilience, and were physically
It's coming from
healthier.
gratitude. Yeah, I mean, that's a known fact.
Yes.
When your technology isn't working how it should, do you talk to it then? Like, do you say, "Oh, you piece of..."
No,
No?
I don't curse it.
Okay.
I don't curse it, I don't thank it.
Okay.
Because I know it's in fact, sometimes people get upset with telemarketers,
Yeah.
people calling and stuff. I don't, because I know someone sitting at the other side at minimum wages is making
Yeah.
a call. It's a job for them.
Yeah.
Why am I going to get upset with them? You know,
That's a good way
it's
to
not
look
their
at it.
fault.
It's not their fault.
You
You're
know, they're
absolutely
doing a
right.
job.
Yeah.
Don't answer it or don't say whatever you do, but don't curse them.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. No. What's true of gratitude is also true of kindness
Yes.
and generosity. Sonia Lubomirsky, professor of psychology at UC Riverside, she's the author of the book, The How of Happiness.
Yes.
She conducted experiments where participants were asked to perform 5 small acts of kindness per week. She found that these small, frequent acts led to consistent and significant increases in happiness.
I do 3 a day.
Or maybe you need to do 2 more.
No, that's 5 a week.
Oh, that's 5 a week. Yeah, that's true. A medieval scholar wrote that, and see if you agree with this, it is better for a person to give 1 dinar to 1,000 poor people than to give 1,000 dinar to 1 poor person.
Totally.
So perhaps all our pleases and thank yous to AI, thank you, Steffi, had value, even if they cost OpenAI millions of dollars annually. Showing appreciation even toward a machine reinforces positive habits of courtesy, patience, and empathy.
That's true. That's true. Because even though, it's a machine, it's a program, it's AI, but being courteous is yourself.
Are you gonna stop now?
Huh?
You're gonna start saying thank you now?
I don't know about that, but I don't have any problem with people.
Ultimately, the beneficiary of our politeness isn't the AI at all, but ourselves.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
So that is it for my research for this week.
good. Very good.
You're darn tootin' it was good. It was good. Now we come to the best part.
Okay, the first American millionaire was not a man, it was a woman. First American millionaire was a woman.
Really?
A black woman who was born to previously enslaved parents. Her name is Madam C.J. Walker, by the way.
Okay.
She set up beauty salons and like day spas and stuff. So she was America's first millionaire.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too.
Very.
Great fact.
Great.
Steffi's facts are very inspiring.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
I don't know how she finds that.
They have added another level
Absolutely.
to this podcast
I find them on ChatGPT. Thank you, Chat.
Cheater.
You see that? And she said, thank you, ChatGPT.
I didn't realize that she was using ChatGPT. I mean, all along I was thinking so highly of it. I never think it's the ChatGPT I should be thinking highly.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you everybody for joining us for another fun episode of the Professor Joy podcast. I'm Gary Metzger from Cal State Long Beach. Steffi, Professor Joy, thank you.
Thank you.
And we will see you next week.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.